Hello everyone, my name's Identity, and welcome to another weapons reaction. This is a series in which we look at weapons that a good old friend of ours makes, and we see, are they good, are they bad, do they need nerfs, or do they need buffs? Today's weapon we'll be looking at is Now, let me just say one thing. This is a weapon design I can get behind. I love the snake head right here, and how it's clearly designed for a flamethrower that you and I all know too well. But let me just point out one little thing here real quick. You don't need to really pay attention to all of the other stats. They're not so important to know. The one thing you need to look at for right now is this little line at the bottom. No random crits. Just by that line, you know this weapon's designed to mess you up. Nice design. I wonder if Pyro drew that himself. They should do that, make a little mini comic of Pyro just painting on his guns. That'd be so cute. One thing I'd like to point out that this weapon can kind of work very much like the Frontier Justice, in which engineers have had to get used from 6 shots in their shotguns to only 3. I feel though that for engineers that play Pyro as well, we'll adapt to this very quickly. So that's the first thing that comes to my mind is when I'll see this weapon, is that I'm probably going to be fighting an engineer who's used the Frontier Justice before and knows how to use this gun properly. Pain, pain, pain. Another thing to add is that this is a gun, it's a shotgun, so Pyro versus Pyro can be a lot quicker done. The factor is though, whenever I've seen a Pyro versus another Pyro, there's only 2 things that really matter. Number 1, do they have a medic with them? A medic with overhealing the Pyro can easily change the playing fields of its flamethrower versus flamethrower. But when it comes straight down to Pyro versus Pyro, it all depends on one thing. Who's got the shotgun? Hadouken. Is anyone curious to how Pyro can do that? Now then, what you're about to see is why I love the idea of this weapon. So as we can see, standard shotgun procedures. Yep. right there. Right there. Not in the face, body shots. You have to aim directly in the middle of the torso, which means that each one of those little shots is what helps make the crit. The more of those little pellets you get on your opponent, the higher crit damage you're gonna get. Which means not only do you not have to be right smack dab in the face of your opponent, you just have to aim. You have to be a skillful player. This is a weapon that requires skill. And I gotta say, it might actually help if you're a type of pyro main that uses things like the flare gun. As when you've gotten used to aiming with that kind of a thing, especially ones that have the smaller reach, this weapon can be devastating to someone with good aim. You gotta hit directly in the center of your opponents, not the shoulder. And this weapon is just the thing that rewards you for being a skillful aimer. And if they're on fire, they're screwed. Now, this is interesting. 15% damage buff. This gun does 15 more damage? Granted, definitely looks like this gun would do more damage, but I'm kind of surprised to see that. Most guns with a definite crit thing don't really give you a damage buff, do they? I don't know. It's a bit odd. Alright, now time for the final judgments. What's my overall opinion on this weapon? It's good. Granted, there are a few things that need some adjustments. Personally though, I do like this weapon. The design, great. The concept, great. The versatility and downright capabilities of mowing down people is loved by all. My only problem is with the amount of damage this gun can already push out on a player, does it really need a 15% damage boost? I mean, I'm not gonna lie, it's good. But remember when I said that this gun would require someone to be skillful? That kind of takes away from the skill. What's the point of doing a complicated set someone on fire when I could just use this as a regular shotgun that does 15% more damage? That's my only complaint, is that people won't be using it for the main reason we should be using it. And that the only way someone could hope to beat this, a pyro could hope to beat it with another shotgun, say the default, is that you've got more shots and the chance of getting a random crit. Whereas this guy will get none. So really all a pyro could do to out shotgun this guy is to either get in his face and shoot him while he's reloading, which is a douchebag way, or just keep shooting him until you get a random crit and hope that does enough damage or kills him. Personally, I give this weapon a perfect score. Just remove the 15% damage and I think we've got a pretty suitable weapon. And no, this weapon can survive without 15% more damage. It would still be doing stock loadouts, and let's face it, We all know how broken stock can be. My name's Identity, and I hope you have a good one.